Welcome everybody to our fifth event in this Entrepreneur Bootcamp series. Let me click on that. We've got an exciting speaker for you this evening who is going to be talking to you about access to capital, and it's actually part one of a part two session. Tonight's event is done in sponsorship with National ACE, which is the National Asian Pacific Islander American Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurship. And do I call for next slide, please? Perfect. So each and every one of you, if you could please humor us, if you could type in the chat box to let us know how many webinars you have attended so far. As I said earlier, this is our fifth event in this series, and we are offering a special certification for all of you who attend at least 9. And so don't forget about that, something to sort of bolster up your resume or your CV if that's your thing. And if this is your first, welcome. You still have time. I hope to see you again. We are running these events up until mid-November. I am your host this evening. I have the absolute pleasure of being a board member for the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater LA. Next slide, please. All right. And I'm going to hand it off to our leading lady, the president of this chamber, President Lois Claver, to talk to you about our organization.
Thank you, Attorney Lioness, and welcome everyone to our fifth Entrepreneur Bootcamp webinar. So just a little bit of information about our chamber for those who have attended us tonight for the first time. So we've been around since 2001. We have about 125 to 150 members, and we do these monthly events like networking webinars 2 to 3 times a month, but this one is a bit more intensive. So it's happening every week, either on Tuesday or a Wednesday. And we have partnerships with different strategic partners, such as other nonprofit organizations, access to capital, such as this, providing workshops, advocacies, and we have also partnerships with local and Philippine government offices, other chambers of commerce, and Filipino American and mainstream media. Our mission is to promote, cultivate, connect, and empower the Filipino American community and its allies for business development in Greater LA. For our vision and core values, I'll let you guys read it. So up to the next slide, please. So again, this is in partnership with National ACE. Its mission is to advance Asian American and Pacific Islander business owners. And next slide. So National ACE provides a unified voice for business interests of 2.65 million API small business owners in the United States. National ACE seeks to improve economic, political, and social well-being of AAPIs by advocating for their businesses, promoting issues that impact the small business community, improving economic development, advancing coalitions, enhancing community building, and fostering the next generation of AAPI entrepreneurs and executives. Moving on. So as Attorney Linus mentioned, this is a 14-part boot camp, and this is our 5th webinar. If you wish to do makeup sessions to complete at least 9, we recommend that you can do a makeup session. We have recordings of these webinars. You just have to certify that you have attended those, but we highly recommend, since this is, for your growth, to actually attend as much as you can. Next, please. All right, handing it back to our amazing host, Attorney Linus.
Okay. Wonderful. So we've got a very excited and knowledgeable speaker for you this evening. A little about Ms. Elaine Pang. She is the business loan counselor with PACE, Business Development Program. And for those of you who don't know, PACE is short for Pacific Asian Consortium Employment She provides free one-on-one business consultation for individuals who would like to start a business. In her free time, Elaine likes to enjoy food, travel, and learn new things. All great things, right? And so without further ado, ladies and gents, your speaker this evening, Miss Elaine Payne.
Hello, thank you all for joining. Let me share my screen. All right, from beginning. All right, is the screen full screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, thank you and welcome all. Let's get started. PACE, we are a nonprofit organization started in 1976. We are a community development, education, and workforce center. We not only helping employees looking for job, we always working with employer to hosting events and also help employer for recruiting as well. I work for the business development department, and I do free one-on-one consultations, loan. We are SBA lenders, and we also do loan for working capital and contracting loans as well. And we will have more information later on down the road. So we are a CDFI and SBA lenders compared to traditional lenders. We not only targeting credit score with 700 and more, and we also helping those that with a credit score 600 more 600 and more. So this is the special for all those who have credit score between 600 and 650, and then also startup for only 1 or 2 years experience. We host workshops, webinars, in-person meeting weekly almost, and then we also host event as well. And other services that we're providing will be procurement. We have counselor will work with you regarding bidding, government contracting, prepare the capacity statement as well. And then we have loan for about between 500 to 250,000. And most of the loan purpose is for working capital expansions, maybe a second locations or change from a food truck to a brick and mortar. Or we also do contract finance assistant loan as well. It is a special loan product that targets prime contractor who is bidding construction project. We also have clients who recently got the contract from the city, Los Angeles Water and Power, and they need to pay the vendors to deliver the product. And we will look at the contract and also work with the third party to process and package the loan as well. So loan less than 50K, we will be working with the internal loan committee, with the loan manager, department director, and the compliances manager as well. I cannot say that going through this route is easier or faster because we do need to take a look at different elements as well, which is 5 C's, and we will talk more later on down the road in these presentations. And I try not to read the script or read the presentation word by word, but as you see here, the interest rate is between 7% and 8.5. The loan terms is subject for underwriting, and we service most of the LA County, LOC, Ventura, and Riverside County as well. So who can apply? Here's a document that we need. Unlike some traditional lenders who may reluctant to offer loan to some industry, such as trucking, restaurant, jewelry, or even startup who have less than 3 years experience. But again, we at CDFI, we are more willing to working with people that who our credit score is 600, between 600 and 700. And here is the document that we need, and it will be more. When we meet with the client, we will providing a full list checklist because some of the document here might not be applicable to you. But some basic requirement, right? Your ID, business license, tax return, financial projections or financial statements. And we also ask for the business and personal bank statements as well. And of course, if it is a brick and mortar, we will ask for the lease agreement. Business plan here is a startup, but for existing business as well, we also ask the borrower to prepare a write-up so we have a better picture when we prepare the case to the loan committee. And here's the loan process. The longest process is not the loan decision process. It is the beginning and collecting the document. I would say way before the document collection process because it's all about the planning. We will meet and then we will talk about it's my role to get to know the borrower from inside out. So any upcoming unforeseen questions from the underwriter or loan manager, I can answer that instead of calling back and forth. I would say it is the planning process take the longest. The turnaround time is between 1.5 to 2 months. But depending on the case though, I suggest the borrower to plan ahead and have a separate folder to save all the PDF documents such as the past 3 years tax return. Here in 2022, we will ask 2020 and 2021 tax return. And for disaster loan, we will also ask for 2019 as well. And we also ask the borrower to prepare the financial statement that will be from January to August. And we will also working closely with, and please, I always ask the client to work closely with the accountants or the CPA because you will need to have those documents ready when the underwriter and me ask for it. And those are your very important financial documents. And all the loan need a personal guarantee, and loan less than 50K, we will go through the internal loan committee. Loan more than 50K, we will working with the external loan committee. And again, I cannot say that the external loan committee is more difficult, but the external loan committee only meet once a month so that the deadline will be very, very tight. And when we ask something, we always need that like right away or no later than 2-3 business day, right? Because again, as a loan counselor or any loan officer, we always have to meet the deadline to prepare the case in front of the underwriter and the loan committee. So I would say usually I will collect all the document in the first week of the month so that I can send it over to the underwriter on a Friday or the next Monday. So the underwriter have time to review and prepare the credit memo. And this is the 5 C's underwriting guidelines that we are following. They are credit score, cash flow, capital, collateral, and the character. Later on, I will show you all a case study. It is a candle making company that the borrower is asking for $5,000 mini micro loan. Her credit score is roughly about 750. I will also ask for the global cash flow and also the business cash flow as well. And later you will see some information about her Some I make it up, some is the real scenario. Her monthly income from a regular 5 to 9 job is roughly about $6,000. Monthly expenses is about $2,800. Her own capital infusions is between $3,000 to $4,000. And here, in order for me to propose the case to the underwriter, I will sit down with the client and going this exercise together, a minimum 18 points in order for me to submit to the underwriter. But I would say sometimes 17 might work. However, we will work this case together, so don't feel alone down the road. Okay, so let's do some case study here. So this is one of my clients. She's doing candle making. Her credit score is 750, and from her day job is roughly about $6,000. So in the 4 or 5 pages long application, one of the pages is regarding the monthly expenses from the client. So here you will see that her basic expenses will be rent, her car, new car, food, utility, water and power, and entertainment. I always see some client that will leave food for $100 a month, $200 a month. Entertainment, sometimes they put 0. I always encouraging my client, be honest. Food, if you can give a supporting statement saying that, oh, my partner, I have a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, they will pay or responsible for majority of the food expenses, then I would say it makes sense for $100 for food, right? Entertainment, it is normal for a human being to get some new clothing, going to a movie, etc. But please be realistic, because down the road, when we look at the bank statement, personal bank statement, all those entertainment, food, delivery, Uber Eats will also disclose. So auto payment, some client that they will put the car payment under the business expenses as well. Then I will have the client to move the expenses to the business instead of putting on the personal expenses. And rent, sometimes they have one person, but husband or wife, girlfriend, boyfriend will pay majority of the rent. It is normal as well, but please be honest on that part. Initial capital investment. So she calculating that the total project cost will be close to 10,000. Here is $9,000. And she is willing to put $4,000 for this project to get going. And she is asking us $5,000 as a loan. Here, unlike the auto payment, right? You have to pay down payment for your car. But here, I'm not saying that you have to pay $4,000 in advance. We will look into your personal bank account to see if this $4,000 is existing. As a collateral, she told me that, Elaine, I only have a maybe 2 or 1 year old brand new MacBook, but I only have a used camera, and it might only cost like $300, and some tools and some stands and some candle making tools. We will have her to fill out the estimate amount, and then there is some discount out of this assets. And here we will look at her character. She has been in the business for 1.5, almost 2 years. And the point will go a little bit higher. In the past, she told me that she usually sell it to friends and family just to test it out, the market. And I do a brief calculations here. You can always use the bankrate.com, I think. So you can roughly calculating the estimate amount for the monthly payment. So here I do an estimate $5,000 mini micro loan with the interest rate of 7.5, either a year or 24 months for the repayment. This is the estimate amount for the 12 months, and this is the estimate amount for the 255, I mean the 24 months. And here we look at the credit score. We will report to the credit bureau if there's any low payment or missing payment. So we will also need the client to providing full pages of the credit report. And the client can obtain the free credit report via annualcreditreport.com and also screenshot the score with Credit Karma. No credit versus bad credit. We do have other loan product for the client to get to offer, and it is more like a credit building loan. We also have a loan for $500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 3,000, depending on the client and the need. And we also work with client that with the credit score 600 or 605 as well. So if you remember the candle making cases, we will ask the client to providing the year-to-date financial statement and her own monthly income and expenses as well. We will calculate the net profits and all the existing debt. So in this case, only the PACE loan. For example, if the client net profit is between 250 and 330 a month, maybe say like August, and the loan repayment is 225. Here is the 24 month. So I will ask you or any one of you if you can put your comment in the chat box to see if you are the underwriter. Would you thinking that she will able to make it? Yes, no, maybe. All right. So let me see. I have even though I cannot share this because I don't want to mess up the presentations, I have my other Excel form here in front of me. Again, the credit score is 750, right? So she gained 5 points from a very good credit score. So cash flow, her global cash flow is about 2, I think. And then that will be gain her 5 points. And then, however, remember, her net income is roughly between 250 to 350, right? And the loan pace loan, the repayment is 225. So the debt income ratio is 1.5, 1.4. So I would say 4 points from there. But again, if we are working with the projections to guessing the cash flow, we always give a 3 points. And her initial capital investment, like early, I have the other slides. The project cost is $9,000 and she is willing to pledge $4,000 in this project. So it's all over 40%. So I give her 5 points. And for collateral, she only have a MacBook, a camera, and some tools that can pledge. So I would say less than 10%. So it would be 1 point for her. Character is between 1.5 to 2 years, so 4 points. So here I have 18 points for her case. So I could say we can work this out, maybe. All right, so
Elaine, can I ask a question?
yes.
Because I don't want to type it, it's too long. So I get purchase orders sometimes from large school districts. We submit bids and then we get a purchase order. Sometimes it doesn't fall into the OfficeZilla category, and it's on our PPE side of our business.
Mhm.
And you know, it is a 30 to 45 net. As long as we supply you with the purchase order, what's the additional vetting that you need from us? I mean, okay, first question, would you do a PPE purchase order if it's already addressed to our company?
For any purchase order, it's not official yet, even though we trust that it will come. However, we do work with other cases that is also waiting for those income to come in as a purchase order. We will work on that with the projections. So I can't say. It's a case by case.
Okay.
Because we
So
also look at the cash flow as well. But again, I think the purchase order is still counting as account receivable. And we always ask the client to prepare a, what is that called? Something debt schedule. I forgot, I forgot the name because I have my client to prepare one for me before, something aging schedule, I forgot. But I will ask you to prepare what is the month that you're expecting this particular purchase order to become the cash.
okay,
Yeah.
it's typically like a city or a school district that would
Yeah, if you have the contract, forward that to me.
we
And
okay.
then, yeah, we have another program, right? Like I mentioned earlier, it's called contract assistant finance. So very similar like the water and power case. The client sent me the purchase order directly from the uh, water and power department, and then a contract for how many quantity that they are ordering and what day that or what month that they're expecting to be delivered. We are working with a third party processing team only for contracting purposes loan. And we have my colleague, her name is Jennifer, will be working closely with clients.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Hi, Elaine. I have a question. My name is
Yes.
Francis. I'm new
Hi.
to the team here, and just wanted to maybe go back to the 6 C's, of which these 6 points for credit, cash flow, capital, collateral, and character are determining your standing with getting or being vetted to get a loan or SB 7A loan, or what if it's possible, if I can possibly give a few background on my startup company, and maybe we can as a way to do another case study, see if that would be something where I would be eligible. I don't want to take anybody's time, but maybe just an example for somebody with a startup, such as for my company, Lumpia Mania, which we had just started pop-ups. We're targeting a actual brick and mortar for a full-scale restaurant, of which we would need for that flagship restaurant to get at least 110,000. And so with my credit being over 700 and getting that the cash flow of what pop-ups we had so far, is that something which we would need to talk face to face, or which you can give possibly an assessment of what we have going for us that would allow for that kind of loan to just get our first restaurant up and running?
We have working a very similar case. That will in a case study later on. You will see. That particular case just got approved last week. 50K is a coffee shop from a catering service or catering type. they are selling coffee at the smorgasburds.
Ah.
And then when they getting more busy and a lot of the client driving all the way from OC just to
Oh.
get the coffee. And they always have client asking, hey, when are you going to open the brick and mortar? And
Mm,
then the client start saving money and also very lucky that his family is also supporting as well,
yes.
having some cash gift to him.
Mm.
And he recently secured a brick and mortar lease agreement. I think just closing the escrow end of August.
Oh, great. So as
So it
far as
is possible, but we will have a lot of discussions.
yeah, especially
Because
with
for this
working.
particular case, they open since 2019, 2020.
Okay, not more than 2 years, of which
Mm.
you need some collateral. And my business partner actually has lots that have value in it, $250,000 in properties over in Santa Clarita. So is that possible for collateral to be put alongside the paperwork or the 6Cs that gets approved? Is that something that would help our case a lot more?
Yes, we also consider property, your real estate, a car, or the business inventory or asset as well. That will be equipment, tools, etc.
Okay.
However, we are more focusing on the cash flow
Mm.
instead of, I mean, we also take the collateral, right? But when we look at it, we also targeting the cash flow instead of how much your home or your car will be able to pledge. Because the last resource is getting a home, right? So we always
Oh,
ask looking at the cash flow.
All
I see.
right, all right. Thank you, Elaine. We do have to sort of move the program
Sure.
along. I just want to thank every single one of you for your engagement. It not only helps you, but it helps all of us. And it's wonderful to pick Ms. Pang's brain, but we can move along as we do have a program here today.
Yes. All right. So let's get going. So we will have the client to prepare a projections. Just like the candle making case, we will be calculating the revenue, cost of goods sold, sales per month, sales per hour, and we will calculating how many candles that she will be able to sell in order to make profits, and also most important, making the loan payment on time. Always going back to the candle making case, again, she is willing to put $4,000, 44% out of her pocket for contributing the project costs. Collateral, like I said, she only have a MacBook and also her camera. So we will look at that closely. Again, like the case, like the questions earlier, the car or the primary residence, right, is the last resource, and we really don't want to make that happen. Character, like the candle making client, she has 1.2, close to 2 years experience, and we were also looking at the professional backgrounds as well. So even though that she might not have a best experience in candle making, but at least she has a more than 10 years experience working with a marketing company. So we were presuming that her marketing skills will be really good. And this is the case study that I would like to bring up for tonight. Be Bright Coffee, like I mentioned earlier, they just got approved for a 50K loan. And then the story, like I mentioned earlier, that they have been working open since 2019, 2020. When they first approached to us, they are only a startup without anything. But we keep telling them that working better when times is ready, send us the presentation, send us the loan package, and we will look at that. So in this case, we help the client to build the projections. He prepared the projections himself, and then he sent it to us, and then we providing the technical assistant, maybe change some numbers here and there, and we make the whole projections realistic for him and reasonable. And again, he recently signed the lease for a brick and mortar on Melrose in Los Angeles. A quick recap. Always ask yourself if you can afford the loan, and always ask all the payment already done if you can still afford for your daily essentials. And even though you don't pay yourself, and are you afford to pay your employees and your vendors? Again, we always look for a strong cash flow, and if you own any unpaid tax as well. And I'm open up to questions, Q&A, and thank you everyone for having me tonight.
All right, Elaine, thank you so much. Anybody have questions for Ms. Payne?
Hold on one second.
Hey, me.
The lighting is a sensor, so if I don't move, and then they will turn off the light. Yes.
Yeah, the question is like on the guidelines. A while ago, you're showing a $5,000 loan guidelines. Would it differ from $100,000 loan, or it's still similar guidelines? The points system. It's still the same. The small loan and the big loan. Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah. Regardless of the loan amount, we always go back to this 5C guidelines.
Okay. And how about the 7.5 rate? Is it more or less? Is it a fix, or how do you calculate the payment if it's a variable?
The interest rate is fixed.
Is your loan mostly 2 years, or 1 year, 2 years, or?
It is between 1 to 4 or 5, depending on the loan amount and subject for underwriting as well.
Yeah, pretty good. This 501c3 or and C6 is could apply also?
Not for nonprofit.
Not for nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. Only for profit company.
Okay.
Yes.
You
So
would also do.
say that again.
Sorry, I have so many questions.
Oh yes, yes.
How about doing there's a lot of board and care going around now that used to be real estate loan is easy to do. Now it has to go through SBA or other sources to do a board and care. How do you look at it?
I don't have the knowledge for that to answer. However, if you can write me an email, and then I can ask the senior loan officer or my loan manager.
That's thank you.
Yeah.
I'll give Tony the floor.
Thank you, Henry. Anybody else have any questions?
Elaine, I have a question on
Yes.
that. Hi, thank you so much. Very informative, presentation. I was also answering some information in the chat because I work in a bank and I deal with these questions as well. So I really appreciate all of the questions. I think in Tony's question earlier, do you guys do PO financing?
Is it regarding the contracting, right? With the school district?
No, purchase order financing.
Oh, purchase order financing. I think we might have another lender partner that they might do PO financing. But again, let me check with the loan manager. Best will be I will meet the client one-on-one, and then the more I learn, the more the more I learn from the client about her business and the case, the more I can see yes or no, and then if no, I will refer to someone else, to some other lender.
Yeah. To Elaine's point, that's how we kind of work as lenders. I referred loans to Reddy before when he used to work at Pace, and vice versa, because certain lenders have different underwriting guidelines, different things that lenders have a tolerance on the risk. So we all talk to each other. So if there's a lender that specializes on board and care, we send to that lender because
I see.
has a preference. So it's always we don't really kind of compete with each other per se, but we kind of point to like, okay, you're a startup, maybe go with the CDFI like Pace. And then after 2 years, let's start talking, to a regional bank or, an A lender, like one of the big banks. That is the goal, because the higher you go in the food chain of lending, the cheaper the rate goes. But it depends on the risk as you become more established as a business owner.
Yes, and this is the goal here as well. I always hoping that the client might not need us anymore because the loan amount will be bigger, right?
Oh, I have a question, Elaine.
Yes.
As far as a DBA, my pop-up restaurant's called Lumpia Mania. We specialize Filipino egg rolls, our style of doing it. But as far as a DBA, that has not, I believe we have to still establish a fictitious name business for that DBA. But our business name, legal business name, is Avant Holdings Incorporated, of which Robert, my business partner, had started that in 2019, or I believe it's at least 2 years or more. So would that help our case out in having an established business, of which that would be our umbrella company, corporate company, Avant Holdings, wherein our small business as a pop-up under Lumpia Mania would operate under? Is that what channels would we have to go to make that happen as well?
Yeah, we will look at it as a primary borrower, which is the company, right? That will be the startup.
Yes, the name of the company, that will be the startup, Lumpia Mania.
Yeah, but your existing established company won't be part of that loan application process.
Oh, I see. So first and foremost, we would need to establish Lumpia Mania as the corporate entity for it to be established as part as looking up for that loan, correct?
So that particular startup it's just the entity it is to borrow the money. Whatever that you have on the second business, right? We will ask you on the loan application, we will ask you, do you own 20% or more in another business? And you will say yes. And we'll ask you, what that particular business is. But for loan itself, if you're only asking for that particular startup, then we'll only look at that particular startup.
For that.
Not for the parents company or any other company.
Okay, I understand. And is that something which that we would have to have its own EIN then in order for us to process a loan under Lumpia Mania? Is that correct?
Another EIN, I don't think so. I don't think so.
We have a existing EIN under our parent company, Avant Holdings.
Yeah.
But
let me double check.
Okay. Yes, and I have your contact number here, 213-394-9216. So you can definitely speak after the meeting or set something up to talk later.
The best way to reach me will be send me an email.
Okay. Yes.
And then maybe 2 to 3 business days in advance, and then we can book the separate meeting.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much, Elaine. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you, Elaine. So we are going to wrap up the Q&A actually with one last question that we got sent via chat, and it's from Miss Gloria White. And Elaine, she wants to know, will you also provide capital loans for purchasing real estate investments abroad?
Overseas?
Yes, I think that's what she means.
Yes,
Internationally.
Okay, I don't think so.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, very good. So Elaine has put her contact information up. You can reach her via email and also directly via her telephone number. She's been a great source of knowledge this evening, and I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to her and book your own consult. We are going to move on with our program. We've got a group photo that we want to do because this is the Chamber of Greater LA, and we like bringing our smiles to the table. Is that what we're doing? We're doing a group photo. So
Yeah.
if you could please turn on your cameras and bust out those pearly whites, everybody.
Okay, I'll take
All
it.
right, who's it? Perfect.
Okay, everyone ready? All right. Oh, look at that cutie pie. All right, 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. Back
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And do we have a slide for me? What am I looking at? Awesome. So I want to say a very, very big thank you to our event sponsor of Tycoon Lands. Next slide. Oh, and thank you to our logo sponsor, Collins Law Group. Next slide, please. Okay, next up, the one and only Mr. David Baines, our Vice President of Membership, is going to speak to you about becoming a member of this organization. Take it away, David.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on our webinar. Can you guys hear me? I'm here
Yes.
pulled over in a car. Anyways, if you're looking to grow your business, you should join FACC GLA. Our individual membership starts at $150 and our corporate membership starts at $300. So if you're looking to grow your business and you want to learn about the biggest chamber of commerce in the San Fernando Valley in LA, DM me. I'll put my contact information on the chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I hope you have a beautiful evening.
Okay, thank you, David. And we've got this lovely QR code put up. So if you'd like, go ahead and scan that and check out our events. There's never a dull moment here at the Chamber. Next slide, please. And next up, Miko Polon, our Vice President of Events, is going to tell you all about our events, our upcoming events.
Thanks, Linus. So welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening and great event. Our next event in the series is going to be about Accounting 101. It's actually our monthly third Wednesday of the month hybrid networking. So we have an in-person aspect and also we have the Zoom aspect. That's going to be on September 21st. And then this coming Monday, we have our annual golf tournament. This is our big event. And take the time, please, to scan the QR code and check out some more details on the event. And yeah, we're just less than 1 week to go. And there's a quick video for that we will skip. And then can you get the slides back up, please?
Yeah, give me a second.
Thanks.
Hi there, this is Lois Claver, President of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Los Angeles. We invite everyone to the JG Group of Companies annual golf tournament in partnership with FACC GLA on September 12th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Porter Valley Country Club in Northridge, California. We are raising funds for our selected beneficiaries, St. Vincent Meals on Wheels, the JIR Foundation, and the Chamber's Entrepreneur Empowerment Program. Sign up as a sponsor, bring your colleagues, and play a foursome. For non-players, you are welcome to enjoy networking lunch with live barbecue and award our best players for the day. Get a chance to win amazing raffle prizes and a hole-in-one prize for $50,000. Don't wait. Come join us for a fun day on the green and network with the Filipino American business community. Get your tickets now at faccgla.org. See you there.
Awesome video.
Yes.
So we hope to see you there next Monday. And then another upcoming event we have is a big concert. If you guys like energy, not just energy, but pure energy, we have Gary V re-energized the US tour. That's going to be on Sunday, October 9th. And just scan the QR code for more details and tickets. Now it's time for games. All right. So so this is kind of like becoming a tradition with our entrepreneurship bootcamp series. So every time we have a webinar, we have a trivia prize. So we always want to make sure everyone's paying attention and taking notes and just remembering the information that was presented. So the trivia prize for tonight is a business landing page on tycoonlands.com. So next slide, please. Thank you. So a little bit about tycoonlands.com. This is actually my company, my website building platform. Aside from being the vice president of events for FACC GLA, I'm also the owner of tycoonlands.com and the Arcopolis agency, which we specialize in business websites like this, social media management, apps building, events, and DJing. So you can screenshot this slide and scan the QR code. But if you are to scan just one QR code right now, that would be the blue one on the lower right corner. That's our latest project with basically all the chambers, because we're going to be bridging together all the chambers using an app. So it's kind of like a Facebook for all Filipino American chambers. So just scan that. It's and you can create your free account, and then you can connect with other members all throughout our 30 chambers of commerce. And then now for the trivia question. So whoever is the first one to type it in wins the trivia prize. So I hope you paid attention. So Elaine, for her final slide, she presented the underwriting process, and she mentioned 5 C's. So 5 words, keywords that start with. So I'm not gonna ask you to name 10 or all 5, but we can start with, let's do 2 C's. If anyone can type in 2 of the 5 C's that Elaine presented.
All right, guys, come on. I believe in you.
I was like, we're gonna type 5? No, not credit and cash. You have to type them together.
You got to type your 2
Yeah.
answers together, folks.
And you got to spell it right.
Yeah.
So it means right. Oh, I think Gloria got it. So yeah, Gloria got it. Our 5 C's are credit, cash flow, capital, collateral, and character.
Hey, we have a winner!
Hey,
Woohoo! Yay, Gloria!
Thank you.
So we'll reach out to you for coordinating your prize. Congratulations.
And that website, that landing page is worth $300, guys.
Wow.
So if you miss winning this time, you have a chance to win in our next event. So back to you, Linus.
Okay, guys, don't forget your feedback absolutely matters. And so you are going to get a little questionnaire emailed to you at the end of this event. And we'd like you all to fill that out to the best of your ability. This is a little bit about us this evening. We've got our illustrious board or executive officers of the chamber. And we are at your service. We strive always to bring you guys all sorts of resources to help your business and your journey in entrepreneurship. We've also got our board members pictured right there. I'm more than happy to be one of them. And we've got the QR code up there. So, feel free to bust out those phones and check us out. And of course, if you are not a member of the chamber just yet, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? No, check us out, join us. We would love to have you. If you got even a little warm feeling of camaraderie this evening, I can guarantee you that that is what your membership is really going to be about. It's what it's going to be like. Stay in touch with us. We got another QR code up. And of course, a very, very warm thank you. We are so grateful for your participation this evening, and we hope to see you in our upcoming events. Our next event for this bootcamp series is going to occur September 21st, and it is going to be Access to Capital Part 2. So don't miss it. Miss Elaine Pang got her information up. Oops. Yes?
It's Accounting 101.
Oh,
The topic
is it?
just been changed, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Accounting 101. Join us. Any last remarks?
No, that's it. So there's an Access to Capital Part 2.
Okay.
And that will be live in person at Chase.
Okay.
So you get to learn when it's a startup, and then now when you started making those big bucks, how does that look like, the access to capital? So it's always good to aim for bigger things. So, we got to prepare. So we got to start the conversation early.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. And I'd like to invite real quick FACC Pasadena, a Greater Pasadena, for a quick words. President-elect.
Yes, yes. Hi, guys.
Harris.
So we have a new member that joined us not too long ago, and we were just out, visiting different Filipino business owners, and we ran into Cocina Filipina in Eagle Rock, and they immediately became a chamber member, and we're gonna do a ribbon cutting. And Paul Mirador, my VP of membership, he's like, let's do a lumpia contest. And honestly, I didn't know what lumpias were, right? I mean, and so anyway, we're doing a lumpia contest this Sunday before your golf event. It's free food. There's going to be entertainment and stuff like that. But if you wanted to be join into the lumpia contest, it's only $20, and there's a crown, and you get some other cool prizes for winning. But it's 50 lumpias, so I'm not joining. But if you guys can handle 50, then it's the guys and the girls, so it's two separate. So if you guys want to come, it's on my Facebook page. It's on the FACCGP page as well. If you guys want to come for the free food. Come to network. Get to know the Filipino community in Eagle Rock as well. So I invite all of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for gracing us. And Tony and I were talking this morning about an access to capital scenario. I was like, Tony, you gotta attend tonight. So this is, what happens when you have, you're part of the community, when things pop up, like, hey, this is how we help each other. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you, Linus, for hosting our event tonight. Thank you to our wonderful speaker. Elaine Pang, and PACE. So PACE is an MOU partner of FACC JLA. And thanks again to our programs committee, PG Victoriano, and events VP, Miko Palon, for putting this together, and our a wonderful virtual assistant, my own Eva, Lizelle Malpas. Thank you. All right. See you again, everyone. See you next week at our